in this video we're going to be discussing character design and things like that, so yeah. Just an FYI before we get into this video, I'm not a professional character designer. I'm just sharing my opinions and trying to help people who are trying to make a character but are kind of stuck. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Now, I have made a fair amount of characters in my life for like books and just for fun, I guess. So I hope my opinions and my tips are like trustworthy, so it's just all your opinion if you want to follow these. So I guess we should get started. So really first, if you're going to design a character, you really have to put them in a world and basically base them off of that world. Basically, you're not going to have girls in bikinis fighting and things. You're going to need them in armor and, you know, give them weapons too. And that always goes with character design, with the outfit and maybe like how they look. Do they look tough, or are they more like a softer character? Characters' personalities can range from anywhere. Like, I have many characters with all sorts of different personalities, so feel free to just go wild with your characters' personalities and stuff, because there's really nothing stopping your personalities unless it kind of goes, it's opposite with what happened to them in the past, I guess, but there's other like factors that go into that, I guess. So the first thing I usually think of when designing a character is, what role are they going to be playing in this story or whatever you're doing, whatever you're making this character for. Like, are they going to be playing the role of like a pretty tough soldier who is very brave and things like that, or are they going to be a very like funny comedic relief type character in the story? Of course, for like a very tough character, you want to give them like a tough personality, I guess. Like, they're gonna be pretty brave, pretty confident, things like that, you know, pretty strong. And for like the funny comedic relief type character, they're gonna be good at jokes, and maybe they're even clumsy or things like that. So, I mean, you just have to think of that first, I think so. I'm pretty sure next you're gonna want to come up with their background, because we need to know about their background, and that will help us come up with the personality, because a lot of their personality can come from the backstory. Like, how were they raised? How were their parents? Or were they not raised by their parents? Were they maybe abandoned? Things like that. You can pretty much go wild with their backstory, probably as long as it aligns with the story as well. So yeah, that all depends. Also, I know a lot of people may consider themselves bad at drawing, but trust me, even if you are bad at drawing, then you should try and at least draw the character in the outfit you want them to be in, and maybe in your environment they're in, maybe them with their friends or maybe with their family. Just draw them in some sort of situation like that, and it'll definitely give you a better understanding of them. And I also know that some of you guys maybe don't have friends who like to create characters or anything like that, but if you do, maybe talk to some people online. Like, if you do have friends like that, it really helps to talk to them about your character and like exchange thoughts and ideas about, you know, you guys' characters and things like that. Like, I know how talking to my sister and talking to my friends who also have a lot of like characters and OCs and things like that, talking to them really can help develop your character and help you identify them as a person and things like that. Also, watching shows, reading books, and watching movies and things like that, even in real life on the news or anything like that, it really helps coming up with characters by getting an idea. Like, if you have no clue what you want your character to be like, reading books and watching movies, watching shows, it gives you a very good idea of what you should make your character like. Maybe take some of the character's traits from whatever book or movie you watched, and a lot of my characters are inspired by characters from other things. It is okay, that's not called copying, it's just called getting inspiration. Like, I have so many characters inspired off of other people, just because maybe I was just not thinking, I don't know. But yeah, it can be really hard to come up by yourself with a character. Like, so feel free to do that, because I know some people might think that's copying, and as long as you're not like copying them to a T, as long as you're not doing that, I think it's fine. As long as you're like taking little traits and little aspects, I think that's perfectly fine. And take this from my experience, even if you do actually end up getting inspiration from another character from another place, that character that you created inspired off of that other character always turns into their own character. Like this drawing on your screen right now, that is my character, and he was inspired off of, I don't know if you watch Attack on Titan, but the parody of Attack on Titan called A Slap on Titan on YouTube, he was heavily inspired, not heavily, but he was only created because I, number one, needed a character in a book, and I watched A Slap on Titan, and the character Armin in A Slap on Titan, he's inspired off of him. But at first, when I made this character up, he acted differently. He acted a lot more like Armin, because that was his inspiration. But I've had this character for over a year now, and I can tell you, definitely from my experience, he is barely anything, a little bit like Armin from A Slap on Titan now. He developed into his own character, he has his own traits now, he has his own backstory made up for him, and everything. So, if you're afraid that you're just not gonna have you're just gonna have an unoriginal character because you're inspiring them off of something else, trust me, they always turn into their own person, and I mean, everybody's creative in some way, so you'll figure it out, and just trust me, because a lot of my good, like the best characters were inspired off of other characters, and then they turned into their own person, from you writing about them, thinking about them, anything. So I know that some of you maybe are not interested in writing, but writing about your characters' backstories and writing even like what they do in everyday life, like that really, really helps, because as they interact with other people in the story that you're writing, you're gonna get a better understanding with them and how they act and how they'll interact with others and how they respond to certain questions and things like that. So writing about them definitely gives you a better idea of them as a person. I know it has for me, and I have a really good understanding of most of my characters because I wrote about them a lot. For me, it also really helps if you listen to music or look at music on a playlist that you have. But yeah, listen to music that you like, and then pick out some songs that remind you of your character. And those songs that you picked out will definitely give you a better understanding, because you're ask yourself, why do those songs remind you of that character? And I'm sure that you'll get a better understanding of them. It also helps to think where did they grow up and why. For instance, I'm going to use the character on your screen right now. He grew up in France, but then moved to Japan, and then moved to America. Why did he move to Japan? Well, that's because he had to, because he committed a crime in France, and he had to move to Japan to not get caught. So he moved to Japan with his family, and then he moved to America because, I guess America, because I live in America, and yeah. So, that also gave me a better understanding, why did he move to Japan? He was born in France because why not? Also he has a French accent because he was born in France. You don't have to make your character always born in America. You make them born in a fictional land. I don't even care. Make them interesting. We have to make them better. I don't know. We have to make them someone want to read more about them or hear more about them. Think of your character's interests or their hobbies. What do they like to do for fun? Do they have any pets, or do they have an interest that sparks their interest? I don't know. Do they have what do they like? This certain character on the screen, he likes reading and he likes to read about aliens and ghosts and things like that. He's really interested in that, and he just likes that type of stuff. As you can see in this picture, he's reading, and there's a bunch of ghost hands around him and stuff. So with that drawing, I really tried to capture that. So yeah, think about what they like and things like that. This is really just an opinion, I feel like, because I'll explain that in a second, because it's names basically. if you're gonna have a really like strong, tough character, you're not gonna name them like Bubbles or something. Like, you're gonna name them something tough, or this is really an opinion, because like it could be like your style, I guess, naming your character something not tough and having them being very tough. And also it just depends on what their mom named them, I guess, because their mom didn't know when they were a baby that they were going to be this tough person. Like, it's like, but it also helps to name your character and not think about that stuff. Name your character something that reflects them. Like, I always tell people, the character on the screen, his name is Boo. I always tell people that his name is Boo. I named him Boo because he is kind of like scary but cute. Like, the name Boo is supposed to be kind of cute, but it's also like what you say to scare people. So it's like, it's perfect for him. But in reality, I kind of named him Boo because I was reading the book To Kill a Mockingbird while I was trying to name him. And so if you ever read that book, you know the character named Boo in it. So I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of stuck in my mind. And also, I didn't like his actual name because his actual name isn't Boo. But I didn't like his actual name, so I just nicknamed him Boo. So, enough with about him, but yeah, just name your character. I mean, that's an opinion, but I don't know, it just helps for me sometimes, so. You're gonna want to design them after the environment they're in right now. Like, if you're writing a story about like a circus, you're gonna probably want to make like a circus clown or something, I don't know. Or if you're writing about like medieval times, I guess, you're gonna want to make like a medieval type character. And yeah, that's just a few examples. But I mean, like, look at your story. Look at the place you've created. What type of place is it? What type of people would live in it? And kind of just go off of that. And be as creative as you want to with this. Like, this is like completely like you're free to do whatever you want with these characters. It's just trying to help you if you're stuck. So remember to be creative with these characters and creative with the land they live in. I hope these tips helped. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope I helped you guys make characters, and I'd love to hear about your characters in the comments if they're turned on. And I will see you guys all later. Goodbye.